Hey, it's me, Chaz Evans here with Chaz and Friends. Look, this is what we got on the show for you today. All right, Raw is moving back to 2 hours. All right, we're gonna talk about that and if they should keep that going into Netflix. Also, JBL has been making a lot of appearances outside of the WWE. We're gonna talk about that. And Bryan Danielson, wrong name. But anyway, Bryan Danielson's AEW title reign, is it off to a bad start? All that and many more on Chaz and Friends.
Warning: the following program is a collection of idiots talking about the happenings in the sports entertainment world. It is meant to be comedically informative. The opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their bosses, or the Infinite Plus network. There may be some out-of-pocket things said on this show because this is how we talk to each other. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further. Your homies, the 3 Count Podcast. P.S. Please don't sue us.
It's your boy, your nephew, your cousin. It's the Don. Chaz Evans here, checking out the hottest podcast in the world, the 3 Count Podcast.
Hit him with a 3 count. Pin him to the ground and the crowd go wild, man down, know we all like. Hit him with a 3 count. On the top row, crowd already know how I fly him to the flow like. Hit him with a 3 count. And your boy real.
I love that he does this every single time.
Damn. It's your boy, your cousin, your nephew. It's the Grappital region's best kept secret, right? And the Don of the Mid-Atlantic, Chaz Evans, and you're watching Chaz and Friends. Let me introduce to you my friends. Introducing first, he is the landlord of the Dog Pound. All right, he's the man that runs this show because, quite frankly, I really don't do anything. All right, ladies and gentlemen, is your current reigning and defending Infinite Plus Network champion. He is the Red Dog.
Yo, then you pull up the solo screen, whatever. It is the Air Force Veteran Intel Specialist, the one you call on when you need to get the job done, and your friendly neighborhood Red Dog. And yes, I am wearing all Broncos gear today because the Broncos are on right now, and it seems to be that every time I want to watch my team play, they play at 4:15, and we decide that we're gonna go live at 6:15, so I can never watch the second half of the goddamn game. It's becoming an issue, a real issue around here, but it is what it is. I love you guys.
Yeah, shout outs to the Ravens being at 1 o'clock so I can watch them lose before the show. So I'm already angry. But anyway,
Owen.
No, facts. Introducing next, ladies and gentlemen, he is the Dark Lord, the Dark Goat. He is also the host of the Villains Lounge. He is also, well, I don't want to put out his age. Let's just say he's been there for the very first wrestling match. Ladies and gentlemen, he's your residential supervillain. He's your favorite supervillain. And if you ranked him on the list of evil supervillains, right, he beats Darth Vader way out the park. Ladies and gentlemen, Damien Fatal.
Today I decided to choose violence. As you can see, the duct tape. See? Yeah, read that shirt? Yeah. That's how I'm feeling today. So I guess let's get the party started.
All right, and last but certainly not the least, all right, the fourth man of this faction, because he just keeps showing back up every Sunday. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Lord Twitch of House Graves, Damien is wrong and a lot.
I said what I said.
Fuck you. I'm not neither.
You
How dare
are.
you speak bad on my name.
Damien, you know why they made sidewalks? Because the streets ain't for everybody.
God.
Oh,
Then I guess that's why you're not in the streets, sir.
More than you.
Sure. Dude, I was in the streets before you were out of your dad's sack.
That's
Chill.
what you think. Joke's on you. I was a test tube baby.
Oh
that
my!
explains everything. God damn it, explains everything. Ah,
Twitch
shit.
is wearing a Red Dog T-shirt, so I'm never gonna say a bad word.
I noticed that. I know when I was doing the intro. I noticed like, oh snaps, he got the OG Red Dog shirt on right there.
I literally checked the mail like 5 minutes before I jumped on here, and it was sitting in the mailbox. So I was like, "What a better timing!"
That's perfect. And that's a perfect segue for it to tell you all to buy our merch. Like now. Like you can minimize this, all right? You got a phone, like you can put this in picture, or like go buy our merch right now. Like
Yes,
right now.
That's the one
all
you
of our
want.
merch.
I'm gonna give you 5 seconds now to do it. Thank you. All right. If you haven't already done so, make sure you follow us on all your favorite social media platforms at 3count_pod on Twitter/X and 3countpod everything else. I promise you, we're literally on everything. Thank you to all of our live viewers right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, and on the Infinite Plus Network. Infinite Plus Network.
Nope, you're not getting that today.
All right, cool. That's fine. Ladies and
It's on
gentlemen.
delay.
Oh.
Infinite Plus Network.
I was ready to move on everything. I was like, all right, then let's get the temp check. All right, for those of you who don't know what temp check is where me and my friends, we give you our hottest and or coldest wrestlers going into this week. And for an extra bonus, we give you our match of the week. Let's start it off with you, Cliff. What's the temperature like, brother?
Yo, I'm gonna jump on this train before everybody else does because I'm gonna feel like I'm first. Coldest wrestler of the week. Bam! This man right here.
Yeah.
See?
Smurf.
Snarf. Yeah, Chris Jericho always gonna be on that coldest list. I'm not even gonna explain why. I don't want to.
But just because you brought, and I wanted to bring this up because I knew Chris Jericho was going to be somebody's coldest wrestler. I watched recently, just because it popped up on Twitter randomly yesterday, a great match, but it's Chris Jericho and Ricky Steamboat in 2009. And man, if Jericho didn't go to AEW, would he go down as like a top 5 all time? Like hands down, like his but yeah, I just wanted to put just seeing Chris Jericho in a good light with a 54-year-old Ricky Steamboat was just put on a classic, and 09 was just But go ahead, sorry.
So my hottest wrestler of the week. Actually, I'm gonna give you my hottest wrestlers of the week, right? Because it's not. But I gotta give Carmelo Hayes and Andrade their love.
Yeah.
Man. I know they've been putting on banger after banger these last few weeks with their best of 7 series. It's on point, bro. Like it's all on point. And then that's gonna lead into my match of the week. But there is one match that I do want to talk about outside of just the one I'm going to tell you, which is obvious, right? So Carmelo Hayes and Andrade's match from this last Friday was just ridiculous. It was great storytelling. I love that we're including other things that are happening. But one match that I don't think is going to get enough love that should be getting a lot of love, and I know I saw it recently on Twitter, like 1 or 2 people were talking about it, but if you guys weren't watching Level Up, Kendall Gray and Tyra May Steele had a banger of a match. Mm-hmm. Loved every minute of it, and I wanted to throw some love out there. Every once in a while, like I'll talk about Level Up, and then a year later we'll see that person blow up. Like last year was Kalani Jordan, this year Kendall Gray, man, it was amazing just watching both those two work. So whatever, I know they're doing their thing down in the PC, man, but they should keep going with it because they're putting out a lot of great talent.
All right, what you got for me, Twitch?
My coldest wrestler of the week. I don't really have one, to be honest. Like, I don't think anybody did anything super egregious for me to be like, oh, you're the coldest of the week. But if I had to pick somebody, I think once again it would be Michin. Like, I feel like, yeah, you won, but I feel like you're still just lost in the shuffle, and it sucks because I love you as a wrestler, You are super talented. You're just you have fallen victim to the mass quantity of talent.
And I think that was just a weirdly booked match. Like that whole thing was just, it was weird because even afterwards I went, like, okay, like she got the dub, but then like they still beat her afterwards, and I went, okay.
It was awkward. It was just
that's the better word.
My hottest wrestler of the week is a group, and it's the Bloodline. Them showing up at NXT, and just stomping everybody out. Them showing up in the cage match with Solo and Cody on SmackDown, and us getting Jacob and Roman staring at each other before Solo pulls him out. I think that's amazing. I think it's there we go, the SWO. I think it's amazing storytelling for where we're headed. And then my match of the week, to agree with Cliff, dude, Andrade and Carmelo stole that fucking show.
Yeah.
If I could watch these two go at it until my very last days, I would never complain once.
Yeah. I think we all agree. Probably all of us, Melo and Andrade. That's my match of the week. I'm gonna do my hottest first, and then my coldest, because my coldest will probably ruffle some feathers. But my hottest wrestler of the week is actually not a wrestler; it's wrestlers, and it is based off the fact that they just signed to the WWE, and that is the Motor City Machine Guns. If you want to talk about a tag team that has, in order for the Bucks to redefine tag team wrestling, right? The Motor City Machine Guns had to lay the groundwork, and the Motor City Machine Guns are, and that's just them doing, and that's just them doing, not even being in the E. So now that they're in the WWE, yeah, absolutely. You can put them, you can put them on Level Up, NXT, SmackDown, Raw, Saturday Night Main Event, Heat. I don't care. You got the Motor, literally one of the best tag teams under your banner, and not on the competition. Yeah, fair, absolutely. Now let's get to my coldest. My coldest wrestler of the week is Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, you could tell him being next to Roman Reigns and just the difference of, you could tell just by when, and someone else said it too. It's like, but you can tell when Roman said my WWE and how people reacted to when Cody said was. There is Cody's. I don't know. I don't want to say nothing's wrong with the Cody reign. I've been saying that the Cody reign is fine. We're gonna still push through. But as far as just this week going in, I don't know, man. That, as the kids say, aura. that OTC aura is different. It really is different. So my hottest is the Motor City Machine Guns. My coldest wrestler is Cody Rhodes. And my match of the week, Melo and Andrade. I agree with all of y'all. I could watch that match 50 times over, back to back, and no order. You can put the second one first, and then give me the one just happened on last week. Then you can give me the first. It doesn't matter which order you give me. Like all of these, just the best thing ever. Yeah, this is the best thing ever.
It's the Sheamus. Banger after banger after banger.
It reminds me of when they did the Sheamus and Cesaro. And so now I'm not saying I want, Andrade and Melo to come be a tag team or anything like that. But
hell yeah.
Just that'd be different, but also fire.
That's what Cesaro and Sheamus was. It was two different dudes just beating the hell out of each other. We're about to get the same thing.
And it worked.
It's gonna be lit.
And
It'll
it
be a
worked,
whole great tag team.
All right, Damien. Temp check, dog.
POTUS Jericho.
Oh,
We know why.
Man.
man.
That the messed up part about it is that photo that you're showing is like from 10 years ago. You don't look like that now.
You're right, because when I watched his match with Ricky Steamboat, I was like, wow, Jericho looks young.
Yeah, every time he steps on camera, he ages 10 years.
Damn.
I'm trying to tell you, dementia, it's real.
It's funny because it's
Well, we got the
true.
learning tree. He is older than me, sir.
I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, I don't think that's factual.
He is older than me.
Hold
Can't
on.
verify that. No, because like
I promise you.
when you were born, it was still BC. Like I'm not trying to hear anything, bro.
Oh
He was
man,
still counting backwards in years. What are you talking about?
My hottest. The TNA roster.
okay, yeah, because
They've been doing their thing, dude. Let's
Yeah.
be honest.
last night's show was on point.
He said the roster.
I'm giving the whole entire roster props. They're killing it. Friday's show was really fucking good.
Yeah,
Everything that they have like waiting in the chamber is just, I don't know. It's almost like a breath of fresh air that they needed when they made the name change. Like the name change justifies what's going on right now.
okay.
And then my match of the week, Jordan Grace and Wendy Chu.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that.
yeah, I did too. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would.
Exactly.
I would say that. Like, not to say that it wasn't going to be a good match,
Yeah.
but I enjoyed it. It exceeded my expectations.
Yeah. So
That's a good pick, Damien. Yeah.
I heard a little rumor that Wendy Chu's going to be sticking around to hang out with Rosemary. So this should be because Rosemary was on NXT recently.
Yeah. I love it.
So like Wendy Chu and Rosemary, that's a very interesting
That's scary.
pairing. I believe coming
That's
up.
a broken team. That's a
There's
broken
just-
team.
I believe this coming up Thursday, you got Wendy Chu and Rosemary versus Jordan Grace and Sol Ruka.
Go Ruka. Yeah.
Yeah, Sol Ruka.
So that's going to be fire.
Yeah.
I just gotta say,
that's a broken tag team. That's not
It
fair.
is.
That's not fair. Wait a minute. That's like using the 2016 Warriors in 2K. You can't. No, that's not fair.
no, because they lost in the championship. That's like using the Bulls in the 90s.
Oh, the 90s Bulls.
But yeah, they were still
No,
a broken
no.
team, like in the game. I'm talking about the game. You're right.
I'm sure they were a broken team in the game, but in real
I'm
life,
talking about the game.
they were not broken.
Good.
The Bulls were broken. In
Well,
Oh,
yes, absolutely. We're talking.
96, 97
Well, yes.
team was
Game
broken.
and in real life.
Yes, absolutely.
Shit. God, at one point that squad was just like,
It was like the Cowboys.
Why?
In the 90s.
it was like, why? Why do you have these people on? Like, why?
I think the whole idea of this whole entire match, all four women are about to just slay this whole thing
Absolutely.
down.
Oh, I think
It's
so,
going to
too.
be ridiculous. I have to shout out. I'll say, I know that I already put my hottest wrestler out there. I think my hottest. I want to put that out there as well. USA Network. This whole week with WWE week.
Yeah.
was unfair because it was great show after great show after
It
great
was.
show. Like, bruh.
Yeah,
no.
all three shows were really, really good. Enjoyed every bit of it. I don't know, like Dynamite wasn't that bad either. I kind of I peeked a little bit of it. It actually wasn't that bad. I don't know what Collision and Rampage were like, but like Dynamite itself was like, it wasn't horrible.
I'm just gonna say we're about to get Athena versus Willow. It's kind
Yeah.
of all I need to say.
Yeah.
It's kind of all that needs to be said.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I'm so hyped.
That one. All right, Cliff, check the comments. See what people are talking about. See it's bumping over there.
We got a bunch coming through. So let's start us off. Bo Nix, question mark. Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP. 0-2. Yeah, talk to me about that later. We gotta go. Welcome back, Twitch. Dumbass of the week, without a doubt, is John fucking Harbaugh.
Absolutely, that's my pick for this week.
Hottest wrestler of the week is KO.
That's a good pick.
Anthony says still potential top 5, as in Chris Jericho.
No, he ain't. Stop lying.
The Wyatt 6 match, 100%.
That
It
was
was a
good.
great match. It was a great match.
Oh, that was right.
SWO, everybody's favorite faction of all time. I don't care what anybody got to say.
Love that faction.
Yep, acknowledge them. Wyatt 6 versus Gable and Creed. Yes, American Made versus Wyatt 6. You know, there's like rumors about it too that Kurt Angle said that he was interested in managing.
That's what I heard too.
And I was like,
That'd be dope.
I'm here for it.
I'd be there for it.
I'll be for it too.
About 10 years too late for the Machine Guns. If you haven't been watching the Machine Guns work, then you would not be saying that, sir.
Yes,
That's what I'll do.
I feel like they're a lot better than they were when they were younger.
The team is smooth.
It's like
Smooth,
fine
smooth.
wine.
Yep. Like you know, brand new Lamborghini wax job, smooth. Like it's too shiny. You know what happens when you put Jericho on the cold tent?
This is my favorite comment every day, every week.
100%. So is Ray. Yep, Ray is looking like fine wine. Thank you, sir, for that comment. So is Orton. You know, you guys know Orton's almost 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, look.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he a meaty boy.
I didn't know. I didn't know that.
Eating them good home cooked meals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Understand that Randy Orton right now, with the physique that he looks, was where Batista was most of his career. Just think about that.
yeah.
That's crazy to think about, because
Oh,
I think
wow.
when he said he was Deacon, he was like 320-ish.
Yeah.
And then when he was wrestling actively on a roster, he was like 280, like between 275 and 280. And Orton is like 290, almost 295, 300 pounds.
Yeah.
It's like, to me, it's just wild to think. He says, hey, watch it. Talking about old Luke Longley and then Bill Wellington, you know, guys who won championships. Is what it is. Broncos still ass. Slap my ass. You know what, Blackheart? That's fine. You guys are still 0-2. Don't talk to me about it. Okay?
Good.
Figure that out. We're 0-1 as of right now. MJF. You know, MJF had a good promo, but I'm just gonna say, bro, like he's doing what he's doing. Hearing rumors, making a new show called Shockwave. Yeah, wasn't that supposed to be on Fox?
I thought it was
That's
Aftershock.
No, it's called Shockwave. It is called Shockwave.
Whatever.
But it is
I
rumored.
thought it was Aftershock. No,
But it is rumored that it's gonna be
whatever.
yeah, but it is rumored that it's gonna be on Fox. That was like
That's
the
what I
big one.
heard too.
Wasn't Lamar's fault? Sure.
It wasn't.
Dumbass of the week, that Ricky dude on SmackDown. That Ricky dude was over like shit.
Justice for Ricky.
Let me tell you something. I was so hoping that Ricky was going to be like the James Ellsworth story, like just some indie guy got on there and just got over. I was behind Ricky, okay? I was on my couch over there going, Ricky.
Hey,
Like-
he might come back.
Bro,
Justice for Ricky.
it was so rude when KO was like, "What? He's here? Hey, Reggie, yeah, we don't need you." Bam, hit him with his.
That joint was funny. That joint was funny. I cracked
That
up.
was damn.
I was crying.
And then at the end too, like KO was like, "We love you, Ricky," and then
There's nothing personal.
and Randy Orton was like, "Thanks, Ricky." I was like,
Yeah, that-
man. I'm a lot older than Damien, so watch it. I don't believe that, Mr. Golden. You were still born in.
Wow.
You were born in 80.
He was born in
not
DC.
80. I think CHAZ need to get on that Randy's physique level.
Yeah. Talk to my metabolism.
Could you imagine a 5'5" CHAZ at 300 pounds jacked?
Hell no. Nope.
Oh God.
No.
Uh-uh.
Even I couldn't even think that. And like,
He'd
I
never
just
be
think
able
of,
to move.
I'm just thinking of the comic accurate Wolverine. That's what I'm looking at. Bring back Shockmaster for Shockwave. I'm not
might get
against
them
that.
views.
I'm not against that either.
It might get them views.
Ricky versus Nicholas. That's crazy.
Oh, and
Oh my
Nicholas is
God, not
old
the
enough,
chat.
isn't he?
The James Ellsworth chat.
I
Yo,
would-
but you know what? You know what's crazy though? That one segment got that man like 8 months in the E.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
did.
Just
Yeah.
one segment. Any man that's got 2 hands has a fighting chance, and like sure enough, man, that guy made it.
Yeah.
See Ricky. Yep, Ricky again. My diploma is in Roman numerals again. Roman numerals of AD, not BC. And then two CHAZs, 300 pounds. Yeah,
That's about right, actually. Yeah. That's
it's pretty
that's
accurate.
about right. Yeah,
I'll
that's
never wrestle
Three,
you.
actually.
Yo, they calling you Gilbert.
look. Hey, Gilbert's like a hometown hero out here in Glen Burnie.
Yeah, he really is.
Like
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
I'll
man.
take that. Yes,
Hey,
I'm
he's
pretty
the nicest
Glen
dude too.
he is. Yeah, I actually got the chance to meet him once too, and yeah, he's super cool dude.
He is a cool dude. I got to meet him.
No, I'm comparing Gilbert to Ellsworth. No, no, because Gilbert was actually there as a comedic version of Goldberg, where like James just popped up
Out of nowhere.
He was just an extra. Like Gilbert had a couple years.
Yeah, he
like,
did. He was
running
there
in the-
for
in
a
the-
grip.
Yeah, he was there for a while, and then he was there long enough when the invasion happened. He was there pre the invasion, and then post evasion. And when
Yeah.
Goldberg came in, they had that segment where they ran into each other, and then Goldberg like brushed them off, and then kept pushing on. But yeah, no, and then even Gilbert came back just recently, like 2 years ago,
Yeah,
and
something
like
like
they were
that.
teasing, they were talking about Goldberg being old, and Goldberg came back and just like walked to the ramp. They said CHAZ is equal to 4 Gilberts. A couple of his got his couple of months, more a couple years. Also, it looked like he belonged to the Jersey Shore. Well, that's what Pretty Jimmy is supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? If you know, you know.
All right, let's get to our first debate topic. So, it was reported that Raw on USA towards the later half of the year, they're going back to 2 hours instead of 3. Our prayers have been answered. The wrestling gods have listened to us. We've only been clamoring it for 10 years, but Raw's moving back to 2 hours. It's not confirmed whether or not if that's the permanent change going into Netflix, but we're going to debate it. Should Raw go back to 2 hours when they go to Netflix?
I got news on that part.
Oh, you got news on that part? All right, Damien, you can start us off.
right.
Mr.
2
Dirt
hours.
Sheet.
It's cool. It's cool for like for USA. That's actually not that bad. We won't have to feel like we're dying. From what I heard on Netflix, they're gonna have more of a you can end when you want situation. So like 1 week you might get 2.5 hours. 1 week you might get 3 hours and 10 minutes. Like they don't have a set time limit now. Does that make sense? So they could go 2 hours and 20 minutes or 3 hours.
I
Like
get
they
what
can
you're
always
saying.
cut it short if they want, or go a little longer without the network saying, "Oh, you got to end it at."
I got you.
Expected,
Okay,
They
so
get they get a little bit more freedom.
more of an actual episodic type deal.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
I understand.
So like,
Ugh.
it's one of those situations where I don't know. Like,
Get more
like I
matches.
said, we might get 2 hours and 30 minutes for like a month straight every week, and then something big happens, you'll get like 3 hours. And like it's one of those where it's like they can easily fluctuate it, and but it's what their needs are. So
That's just an interesting thing. I'm just thinking about it, going in like especially like going into like these different pay-per-views.
yeah,
It's like because you're like you're saying we could get 2 hours, 2.5 hours, but how much of that is fluff? You know what I'm saying?
so yeah, now they can kind of cut back on some of the fluff, have a little bit more freedom, and not have the pressure of having to put together a 3-hour show every week. You know what I mean?
No, but we can get 8 matches now.
Yeah.
Instead of just like rushing 5.
Yeah. So like they have just a little bit more leadway, a little bit more time. You know what I mean? Of how they want. So right now, 2 hours is pretty fucking dope until January. I'm kind of curious to see what January is gonna bring, because that's a whole new different department that they're in now. Before you got, being on cable TV, you got time. Like you can't always get that extra 5 minutes or that extra 10 minutes, or you can't end early. You definitely can't end early. You can end on time. You can end a little bit late, but you can't end early. WWE now has that opportunity to be like, all right, yeah, we're done for the night. Cut the feed.
All right, Cliff, what you got?
No, I like the fact that they have the flux going into Netflix if that's the way it holds. You know what, man? I remember there was a time where Raw was 1 hour long.
I know. God, yeah.
See, wow, you're dating me because I've always known Raw 9 o'clock, 9 to 11. Back in the day, 9 to 11. I always remember that because I could only watch the first 30 minutes of it before I had to go to bed.
It debuted in '93, right?
Yeah.
So like I want to say like it's the first. It was they upped it when WCW Nitro became a thing. It was a little after that, but from that point forward, it was always a pre-recorded, for the most part, every week, 1 hour.
Yep. But yeah, I remember it being that way. I guess my thing for it though is that like it's gonna be interesting when it goes to Netflix, because I mean at this point in time, like now there's not really an excuse to give people the time that they deserve, right? Like we talk about the tag division in Raw and how good it is, like it should definitely have some time. The women's division should have some time. Like whatever story matches that you're going on with the titles should have some time, right? Like these matches should matter. And I think going 2.5 hours is gonna, like I would say average wise, going 2.5 hours is gonna be great. Like it's gonna be great for the whole entire program. But if we have like a holiday special, I just want to put out there, Blackheart said this, right? If we have like holiday specials, like a Christmas special or a Halloween special or something like that, you can run that 3 hours long now. So you can go a little extra. But there's no commercial breaks, and I think that's the best part. And I can't believe my camera just keeps cutting out. But that's the best part.
Premieres and stuff like that. After Mania. But the big Raws after, the PLE.
The Big Five. Yeah.
So there's so much potential there.
100%.
All right, Twitch.
So I like the idea of the 2-hour show. From my understanding, it was starting in October at some point. I believe Damien said it. It's going to take out a lot of the filler matches. It's going to make the storylines mean a little bit more, I think. I think you'll get a more quality wrestling match over a quantity. And like Blackheart said, if you have the fluctuating schedule on Netflix, like Damien was talking about, and you want to do something a little bit longer around the holidays, go for it. But the 2-hour programming has worked for SmackDown as of Friday 25 years now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if as long as it's keeping the ratings where it's at or bringing it in higher, by all means continue it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, you also have to remember that on cable television, the reason that third hour was even existing is because of money.
Oh, I know. I agree.
A shit ton of money.
But like, how many times have you and me personally sat on the phone talking to each other, and it's like, damn, the first hour of Raw was amazing. The second hour of Raw was amazing. That third hour was hard as fuck to get through.
Yeah, and it's facts. It's facts. But being on Netflix, you're right. They should stick to the 2 hour, maybe 2 hour and 30 minutes at most.
I'm saying it's worked for SmackDown being a 2 hour show for this long. And SmackDown, there are times I'm able to remember more of SmackDown than I am Raw because Raw just has so much filler matches thrown in there that it's like, damn, that did happen.
Yeah.
I guess for me, where I'm gonna put my thing in real quick with that. But like I think now, like Raw going to Netflix, right? And let's just say they run a 3-hour show. We legit can have 2 like matches kind of focused around the men's division, 2 matches focused around tag team divisions, and then 2 matches focused around the women's division. And however you mix them up, right, depending on the stories and how you want to tell them, you can get all these matches in there now, and you can tell like these great stories about like, hey, who's the up and comer, who's going to be fighting for number 1 contendership, who's going to be doing this, who's going to be doing that. You have this opportunity to do it now, so it's not like you're crammed into like a 2-hour and 15-minute time slot where commercial breaks are going to interrupt you. Now you get the time to actually be like, hey, we want to tell this story in this way with this person and that person going for the championship title. Like I think it works, and I think you can develop and it's going to lead to something else that we're going to talk about in another topic, but it's going to lead to things being better for champions to battle other wrestlers.
Okay.
They'll still get commercials. Not everybody, because Netflix, I think, unless you pay for premium,
you still get commercials.
I pay for premium, so
yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I'm not. No, I'm not.
I love it.
Damn, CHAZ.
I mean, look, this is what we're in. What, September of 24? Now January 25 rolls around, and we have the same topic of whether or not I pay for premium or not. I may have a different answer, but
2025. I'm moving to England so I can watch everything on Netflix.
I hope you do.
I'm using a VPN.
I do too, actually.
There you go. Look, Cliff. Hey, buddy. So look, here's my thing. Like, Twitch gave the good point, and I kind of want to change my whole standpoints on it. SmackDown as a 2-hour show, literally, as far as I know in my life, and it's worked.
It's always been 2 hours.
Exactly. It's always been 2 hours, and it's never been really a drag. I think now, has it been times on it where it's been schizophrenic, where it's all over the place? You're like, all right, there's a bunch of shit going on, and all right, and you get through, you're like, woo, that was a good time. Not like that. Like you get that sometimes, but it was never really a drag. So like, I get now that's a cool. Like I never thought about it in that way. So I'm fine with keeping it 3 hours, based on Cliff's point, saying you have this time slot, not necessarily a time slot, but you have time to focus on the things that you want to focus on. So let's just say, we just put it out there hypothetically, Bad Blood's coming up at the end of October, right? And we got 3 matches, like 3 marquee matches we want to make sure we push out there. And then the other 2 undercards, we can give it a little focus, but not too much. We want to focus on these 3 matches. You can go, all right, let's do the first week, give the women, boom. You give them an hour out that show. Have a couple matches that leads into different stuff. The next week, the tag team. And then the next week, the world title. You're not so gapped in like, oh, we got to end at such and such time because the 11 o'clock news, or they got to play this movie right at 11, and then you're not really time gapped. And then with Damien saying, if it does work out, or they don't have that slot, that's even better. Where it's like, all right, cool, we got 2. We're gonna work 2 hours a day, and we're just gonna focus really on the tag team stuff and the world title. Like we'll have we can put a filler match, but it's something that'll make sense for next week's show. It kind of gives me like what Lucha Underground used to do.
Yeah.
And so if they stick with that format or something similar of that, we could be seeing like probably one of the greatest like runs as far as like storytelling.
Oh yeah.
Like in a long, long time. So should it go back to 2 hours at Netflix? Yes, no. But if we're sticking, if what Damien's report's true, and like if it does, like if it's fluctuated, by all means, this conversation is null and void. Who cares? If they want, if next Monday They want to do 2 hours. Go ahead. And 2 weeks later, they want to go 3 hours and 20 just cause. I'll watch it.
Exactly, because that's
I'll
what I'm
watch
saying. It'll be a little different. It's probably going to be shot different. It's going to look
Yeah,
different.
exactly. And just off the fact of SmackDown, all the new graphics from what SmackDown got on this past Friday, like you gotta show me no wrestlers. Just show me a bunch of graphics and shit for like 15 minutes. I'm perfectly fine.
The new setup for SmackDown is pretty dope. I like it.
Yeah, and I think we're going to get a more sports feel to it. I think you're going to probably get like the pre-show stuff a lot before matches and stuff like that. I think you're going to get that sports presentation with the Netflix deal coming in.
But it makes sense though.
Exactly. So, yeah,
WWE is all about going in that direction that everybody's afraid to go.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Go ahead.
Here's my question real fast. Let's say that Netflix doesn't give them the flexibility of the schedule. 2 hours or 3 hours?
3
hours.
3 hours. That's crazy. That's crazy that we all said 3, but I
know, right?
That's crazy.
Stick with the 3. Let's stick with the 3.
Yeah. Because I'm gonna be, and I think the real deal though, Twitch, with that is because of the simple fact is they're not bombarded by the commercials.
Yeah.
I really do like if you don't have
far in between.
Exactly. That's not their priority. Netflix gonna put their commercials whenever they freaking want.
Yeah.
They're not gonna really have that control. I feel like they're gonna do Netflix gonna make their money regardless. They're gonna put a commercial. So I think that's just how it is. That's how I feel like some of the shows on Netflix now. Anyway, like I just feel like they just randomly throw me an ad. So it's like
you're watching it, and then like two episodes later, you'll get an ad.
Yeah, I was like, huh?
That's in between. That's in between
episodes. Yeah, that's in between episodes. But even the ones like the certain episodes, they're not at a set standpoint. They're they're very, very random. So Netflix they're gonna do their thing regardless as far as the commercials. So 3 hours when we've seen when it's done right, even with the commercials, Raw can put on a fire ass weekly show.
They can.
And they have
they have been a good track record. Literally, I give or take a couple episodes off, give them some off weeks, but for the majority of this year, Raw has been fire. I've watched Raw, guys, more consistently. I know, crazy, right? So, yeah, I think 3 hours even on Netflix would be fine.
It'll probably be easier to watch on Netflix.
Yeah,
I think my other
I can pause if I want to.
Exactly.
Here's the other part though, right? Joe Tortore is on it right now with Corey. Okay. Does that change in November? Does that change in January though?
I thought. Did I hear something about that changing?
I hope so.
I mean, does Michael?
I love Michael Cole on SmackDown. I do. Michael Cole and SmackDown is like peanut butter and jelly. Okay.
I don't want him to leave SmackDown.
I don't want him to leave SmackDown either.
Remember.
But Joe gotta go.
Joe, come on, give him a little bit longer. He's not
how many weeks y'all want me to give this man? I don't
like give him
at least a month.
30 days.
Give him at least a month. 4 episodes.
All right, fine.
my point being though, right, is that eventually you're gonna end up splitting Corey Graves and Michael Cole. You know, do you take Corey Graves on the Raw? And then here's the other part: do you leave Wade Barrett on Raw, or do you bring Pat McAfee to Raw? Because you know Pat's coming back at the end of January.
You put Pat on there. Yeah.
With Joe and Corey.
No, you put Pat and Cole on. You put Pat and Cole back together. If they're going to, because if you're going to, I just feel like you got to put your powerhouse team on Netflix.
So you'll have Corey, Joe,
and you put Corey, or just put Corey and Wade on SmackDown, and just get rid of Joe.
Joe's fine. Leave Joe alone.
If you didn't put Michael Cole and Pat McAfee together on Raw, I feel like that would be like putting Joe Rogan on the pre-show for the UFC and not the main card. Like that's just your powerhouse commentator.
Yeah. Like don't give me your best stuff to tease me in the beginning.
No.
Like you don't know. You put your best moves out at the end. Like you know, and you know what I mean in that sense. Like it works. Like no, put Pat McAfee and Michael Cole on Raw on Netflix, and you stick Corey and Wade on SmackDown, or put Joe, or if you want to keep Joe, you put Joe. I think you put Joe and Corey, but I don't want you to get rid of Wade.
That's why you put the three of them.
I'm impartial. Joe can stay, Joe can go. Like
I don't like the three-man boost things. AEW's ruined it for me.
I don't mind.
They ruined
Joe.
it for me.
I'll tell you
Because
this.
sometimes they go on tangents.
I don't mind Joe. This is what I would do, right? I would move Joe. You know, you said it best, to like a pre-show, like post January, right? Right now, I want him on the show, right? But once January comes, right, I think Netflix does a pre-show where they like recap everything that's gonna that happened in the previous weeks or in the previous week, and then talk about it on a pre-show with Joe Tortore. And then when you start Monday Night Raw, it's Cole and McAfee. Yep.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
No, I wouldn't either.
And he's not bad. Just to put some on the flip side, you don't even do a pre-show, do a post-show. Let him do Raw talk.
But you're not gonna do Raw talk for an hour.
Yeah.
True.
You could.
I mean, you could. You could.
Raw you can make Raw 2 hours long and then Raw talk for an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Wait a minute. All right. So moving on to Damien's dumbass of the week. Play the video. No.
That picture.
All right, Chris Jericho, of course. I gave
when
him.
I show you the actual picture it came from Twitch, you'll die laughing.
There's a hilarious picture.
Oh, I want to see it now.
Because you've seen this picture before.
Oh, I'm sure I have.
You have seen it.
Man.
Bad as that one.
Oh man.
Oddly enough, this is going to be a weird one. Now, Vince McMahon, but not for the obvious reasons that you're thinking. Okay?
Okay.
So, since Vince McMahon has been gone and has not been fucking with my boy Michael Cole has proved to be a much better announcer now than he was under the tutelage of one Vincent Kennedy McMahon. So that just proves that his outdated dinosaur methods like my own were null and void and fucking stupid. Basically, in a roundabout way, I am giving Michael Cole his flowers. I have never seen this man enjoy his job so much in the past, year and a half?
Yeah. That man's enjoying what he's doing again. I really do believe he's falling back in love with it.
Dude,
you see it all the time on those angles.
You see it.
Yeah.
You can hear it in his voice. It's real. It doesn't seem Vincey.
I think also having Pat there.
Yeah. I was going to say, you see it the most when he's with Pat.
Yeah.
Because he's even said it too, that Pat makes him love wrestling again. And then even when Vince was there, like Vince kind of had to let off the gas to let Pat do his thing, and then that affected Michael Cole. And Michael, like I'm gonna give love too. Michael Cole, like when we watched the Cruiserweight Classic, like Michael Cole was on point.
Yeah,
he was there for the Mae Young Classic. Like Michael Cole was killing it, bro. Like I
as
agree.
long as it don't
When
got
he's-
Vince in his ear, dude.
Yeah, he's good when you don't got Vince in his ear.
When Michael Cole loves the business, it really shows through in his commentary. And right now you can tell that he has absolutely found his love again. And it shows, and it's a beautiful thing. I think he had it's been so long that people shit on this man.
Yeah, they did.
But like you said, it's not his fault.
No, it
When
isn't.
you have a lunatic screaming in your ear, we deal with it every Sunday with CHAZ.
Yeah.
I knew you were about to say that.
I'm glad I didn't
you know what? The
disappoint
fucked
you.
up part was I was thinking the same thing.
Same.
Yeah.
Chad's always in here. Hey, we're gonna cut the show off. Stop talking. We need to
The Ravens
terrible.
lost.
We're 10 minutes
Look.
over.
So,
Hey man, look. Trying to tell
There you
you, dinner time.
We're late. We're not starting on time. Why is nobody ever ready?
that's definitely CHAZ all day long. So those
That's
are my
definitely.
favorite passes. All right. I feel like there was somebody else that did something stupid.
I mean, like you
Yeah,
said,
probably.
all the shows are pretty good this week. So,
Did
Yeah.
Hogan do anything stupid?
bruh,
He exists.
I want to just look. You said that shit. Now I'm mad, man, because I wasn't even thinking about him until I saw. And this isn't even a recent promo, okay? This isn't a recent. This is something a long time ago. A long time. This man was on Larry King. That's how long ago. it
Oh
was.
Jesus!
Oh no! Oh yeah!
Yeah.
This thing
I've
was
seen that.
resurfaced all over again. It pissed
I've
me off.
seen that.
Hogan on the. I wanted him on. He was talking about how
Mick Foley?
Foley.
Yo,
Mick
yeah, I saw
Foley
that. Yeah.
thing.
Oh,
Bro, I was so mad after watching that all over again. I was like, bro. And then Mick Foley's response, Mick Foley just being Mick Foley, like, hey, I'm deceptively in shape. Comment that I was so mad, bro. I was like, can we just how do we get rid of a person? How do we erase a person from history? How do we do that? I mean, I can think of a bunch of people I would do first before Hogan, but right now, man, like
I feel
every
like
time I look back,
Hogan's
Joining
inching his
himself.
way up that list.
yeah, it's like, yo,
yeah.
Joining himself. That's the bad part.
yeah.
So who's the other choices? You said Vince,
Hogan.
Hogan, and Tony Khan.
No, not yet, but I'm going to tell you why he should be. And Jericho.
Oh, okay.
Jericho
So
was the other
Tony Khan's going on there because he didn't sign the machine guns.
okay.
Well,
Okay, that's not what I thought he was going to put him on there for.
I'm putting Tony on there for how he's doing this whole Bryan Danielson and Nigel McGuinness thing and how that whole started up, and yeah.
Okay.
So
that's
Still not the reason.
nice.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
was
that's
gonna
why.
be nice 'cause I wanna see
I'm
him
putting them on there for the reason we're going to talk about them in the topic.
I was like, I would put him on there because they still haven't shown what happened to Bryan Danielson on Dynamite from what happened after All Out. Like, we're just not gonna talk. Hey, listen, some things happened. We're not gonna talk about it. We're not gonna talk about the fact that some man was suffocated with the
No, they are literally not. They
No.
took it off their social media. They're blurring it out. Like they're pretending like it never happened.
Exact. Like, all right. Next topic. So this man JBL has become Where's Waldo in wrestling. Okay.
Yeah.
GCW, AAA, now TNA. He's probably been some other places that I just haven't seen yet. But
He was on MLW.
Yeah.
yes, that was the next one. Yes, recent. Yes, the last night. That's
Yeah.
the one I was. I knew there was another one. It's like last night, he was on MLW. JBL is calling himself the Keeper. Yay or nay? That's literally all the topic is. That yeah, yay or nay? Twitch, you have a big old smile. You can start. You start this one off, dog.
Yay to JBL, nay to the name.
I'm okay.
I'm okay with. I don't think he's doing anything that's going to hurt his legacy. I'm okay with it. I've always been a big ass JBL fan all the way back to his cowboy days. Like I love it. I love seeing him come out with the trench coat, the cowboy hat, the cowboy boots, and just handing out clotheslines like it's nobody's business.
JBL was my first favorite villain as a kid.
Thank you.
That was my first like I didn't like that man, but I just had to watch what he did.
Exactly.
And like when I was playing the video games, I was picking Bradshaw.
I will say this. He made me think barroom brawls were totally different than what they really are.
All right, Cliff, what you got? Yay or nay to JBL the keeper?
Nah, I'm here for it all. Like, you're not gonna tell me no. Like, you're like, oh no, I'm against the name. No, I'm for the name. I want him to be. Yo, it's cool. My only problem with it, right, though, is like as long as he doesn't put gatekeeper like in front of it, you can just call it the keeper, bro. Like, but just don't come out here and be like, yeah, it's the gatekeeper. Like, no, don't. Just it's the keeper. Like, we know why you're that person, especially when you're coming in and the people that you're attacking. We know why you're that person. So I'm here for it all. It's gonna be great to see, and I can't wait to see the run. But yeah, I'm here for it all.
Damien?
I'm enjoying watching him fucking people up.
I knew he was gonna say that because that was my reasoning.
Yo, if I can get like just clothesline from Hells and just taking people's soul right out of their body, I'm for that. The name. The funny part about it is, originally I was like, but like the more and more I hear it, it's like, you know what though, I can fuck with that.
My issue with the name is exactly what Cliff said. He doesn't have to put the gatekeeper in there. The keeper, it automatically just goes, okay, he's the gatekeeper.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping he does too. It stays that he doesn't need to put gate on the front of it. Yeah, we get it. It makes it cooler if he doesn't. If we'll be honest. Yeah. And, I mean, it's a big Texan handing out ass whoopings. I'm for this all day, every day.
Every day.
Exactly. I think, and that's the real concrete of it is, look, you got this big old Texan throwing meaty clotheslines that are stiff as I don't know what.
Yeah, they are.
Like, every time I see him throw it, I go, why you do that? But I go, I know why you did it, but why'd you do that? Like, you ain't had to. Like, you JBL, we know you got it. You ain't got to do that. But nah, man, I am like Twitch. I've always been a huge JBL mark. Like, to the time, like, I wanted to at my wedding literally come out to the JBL theme song and do his little dance. But my wife nixed that off. Yeah. She wouldn't let me do no wrestling, nothing. I was trying to get something. But I'm all for it. And I agree. I agree that the gatekeeper thing, we get it. Keep the gate off. It's implied. But oh man, if he builds up this faction behind him with the people, man. I mean, like Nick Nemeth, he says what, Brock Anderson at MLW. Yeah. I can't think of the other people, but ooh, and they're just going around, like not really like stationed somewhere.
Yeah, man. Whose idea is he taking?
There's
idea like 5 years ago.
Exactly. No facts.
No, I did. Think about it.
You did.
Like 5, 6 years ago.
You did. I'm actually yes. This sounds like it actually does. Now I'm thinking about it. This sounds like Exodus.
It was, but remember, it was supposed to be a little different. Where it was the big badge from all these different. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm all for this. You can I always say inject it. Yeah, man, inject this and more. You can inject more of this. Like, I love it. You can
load it up.
Yeah. Load. Seriously. Yep. I don't think there's a big enough syringe with JBL the keeper.
All right, can stop with the syringes, please. I had enough of that last week.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh my! Tony Khan was going on the list.
I decided to give him a pass.
Mm-hmm. Check the comments, Cliff, before we go to our last topic.
Just because, look, at least he's not on my TV right now. So
quick, Ryan.
I'll guess why he's getting the pad.
Quick, Ryan.
So here we are with so what he said. I'm gonna be honest. This was a long time ago, so I don't remember anything.
I have
about
no idea.
it. Honestly, the specials we talked about this comment, right? That,
Yeah.
it's very
Yeah.
big. And then he's talking about Joe Tortore. He's not bad, bro. I don't know why people are tripping. I agree. He's still.
I don't think he's that bad. He's
learning.
different.
He's not bad. I just don't like it.
It's
That's just
different. That's why he is legitly different from anybody that is commentating at the present point. It's like
He
it's
hasn't.
his voice.
He hasn't
Voice
found
in
his
his
partner.
presentation.
He really
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. He doesn't have the right person sitting next to him.
McAfee has Cole. Wade has Corey Graves. Ew. He hasn't found his partner.
Yeah, I say we bring. Say you bring on the man himself, okay? Pat McAfee. Bam, goes with him. Be like, that kind of energy would be so off.
That's exactly why I say no.
Oh God, it would. That poor guy would get eaten alive.
You would know what to do.
Poor
That's
Joe.
exactly why I said
Can't
no.
put that man in that position.
Joe, get up on the stage right now. Start eating.
Yeah.
He even did that for Nakamura.
He did. He did. He did. He definitely did. All right, here we go for our last topic. We're going on to Damien's favorite promotion in all of wrestling. AEW.
Yes. Whatever it is, it's yes. No, I'm joking.
Wow.
Bryan Danielson. Is Bryan Danielson's AEW championship run off to a bad start? Now, I want to preface, I personally wanted to do this topic because of the miscues, I can't talk today, folks, that was explained on whether or not Bryan Danielson would be competing at Grand Slam. So, apparently, so Nigel McGuinness explained on Collision, this is what made me mad, that Mox didn't know that Danielson wasn't able to compete or not, and it was like he only speculated, and so Nigel went to talk to Tony. It's very convoluted at this point. So, but regardless, Bryan, if he's cleared, let me make sure if he's cleared, is Bryan Danielson AEW championship run off to a bad start? Because if he's cleared, he's facing Nigel McGuinness, which, by the way, I'm all for. I just want to put that out there. I'm not against that by any means necessary. That's one of my favorite rivalries of all time. And that's another thing you can inject into me. So, Cliff, can you start us off?
No, I don't think it's off to a bad start. I mean, he beats Swerve, and then he goes on, he defends his title, and now he's lined up, right, for our next movement. So, I don't think it's a bad move. I don't think it's off to a rough start. I don't think it's off to a rough start. I think what it is just now we're trying to move on to the next person that he's going to defend the title onto, and it's just gotten way too convoluted. If you're gonna have this happen, right, Nigel, wanting a championship, then you don't have the thing happen with Mox. You should have waited, after Nigel and Wembley, and then attack Daniel Bryan.
I agree.
Because then once you attack Bryan Danielson there, then you set the tone that Mox wants the title and he wants to control the company. Versus you do this, then you kind of mess up plans that were going to happen. Now we don't even know, it doesn't make sense. So if the plan was that Nigel was going to compete at Wembley against Bryan, then you let that angle play out, and then you have the moment of the jump. It just, I don't know. There's those too many spinning wheels, and I think just in the meantime, it just got somebody just wasn't looking over it and missed that point, and now they're like, oh damn, well, should we do it? Should we not do it? But the fans really want Nigel, but we want to do this, and now you got to do what the fans want, because you heard the pop Nigel had when he called out Bryan. So
no, you should have heard the pop in my living room.
You should have heard
the pop.
Yep, and your fan base. Your fan base. Your fan base is gonna want that match because, especially that fan base, AEW's fan base is a historic fan base.
Yeah.
They know their history. They're historians of pro wrestling. They know that rivalry. Now you have to give that rivalry to them. And then if you want to like have Mox and BCC jump into that match afterwards or right before, Bryan wins and cause a DQ, whatever, right? But you got to give the people that match now.
All right, Damien, what you got?
Ooh. So, I guess I'm gonna pretend like I care. I mean, okay, all right. I'd like to see Nigel wrestle Daniels, of course. Who would? But like Cliff was saying, like everything that's happened before that to lead up into this is just, it's one of those where I can wait to see that match. I don't know, from somebody else's YouTube channel that they got it from somebody else's YouTube channel that they got it from watching somebody else's thing, and then they got it from watching AEW. Like, I'm okay with that. So, I know it's hard for me to care. It really is hard for me to care. I just don't know where they're going.
Thanks, Damon. I mean, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm like being honest.
What you got, Twitch?
There's really not much I can say about this that Cliff didn't already say. I will add this to it though. It's not off to a bad start compared to Swerve.
Yeah.
Oh, his start was horrible.
I can wait for Danielson Moxley. I don't want to wait for Danielson and Nigel. I want that now. So to agree with Cliff, no, I don't think it's off to a bad start at all. I'd love to add more, but he nailed it right on the head.
All right, go ahead, Chaz.
All right, so
okay.
I do think it's off to a bad start. I do. And I figured based on the fact, it's funny, it's also on the fact that what Cliff said, they should have had, they're trying to find the people to face Bryan during this title run, and they should have already had this set in stone beforehand. Like, you knew you were going to put the title on Bryan Danielson. You should have already had at least 2 months worth of challenges already laid out. And then you've got now, you had a fuck up. Let's just say, somebody missed it, and it didn't get up to the higher ups. Well, now you got a fuck up on live TV, and now 2 days later, or 3 days later, you gotta backtrack and explain it by the guy who's actually doing the match on commentary, and it looks bad. And if this is actually Bryan Danielson's last run, it sucks that it's off to that this is the start of it. Because after this, once he loses the belt, that's it, right? He's done. He said that he's done. So let's not waste Bryan Danielson's last year. Like, if you knew up front that he was, like, you were gonna have him retire with the belt, or at least hold the belt until he retires, this should be your most delicate storyline that you need to know, like, every ins and out, at least from the start up into the end of it. Like, absolutely not. Especially when you have one of the top greats, as in Bryan Danielson, who people hold in high regard as one of the top wrestlers of the past 20-something years. Absolutely not. Like, it's inexcusable. Like, you're 5 years into the company now. You don't have excuses no more to make silly mistakes like that. Nope. Like,
Yeah.
And
Booger Sugar Khan is
stop
still
making shots at these. Like, stop taking shots at the media calls at at WWE and talking about whether or not you're looking at the sound decibel or not, and just worry about your show that you're putting on and like one of the top wrestlers. Because let's be for real, what you did with Sting was mid as white paint. Like, yeah, Sting was fine with it. Sting is happy. Well, and that's all that matters. But from a viewer standpoint, Sting's last final run in AEW was mid. Yeah, he did a couple cool spots and some crazy shit that we go, man, you shouldn't have done that. But he's, hey, Sting. Woo! Like, yay. But, like, in the grand scheme of things, it's mid. I would have been fine. I literally would have been fine with seeing Sting in WWE, and that when it's like, it just. So I just think, yes, it's off to a bad start. And as a fan of Bryan Danielson, get that shit together, dog. Because like you're not about to ruin like really one of like the top greats that we still got here. Like, especially when on the fact that he got it taken away from him. I think that's another thing. That's like he was told he couldn't wrestle again, and now that he can. And he's giving you that like the authority and that to hold that last run. Like, no, you better be on your pins and needles and like better make sure every T is crossed, every I is dotted. Like, show like that he owes that much respect.
You ain't wrong.
But again,
I'm done.
This goes back to what I've been. This goes back to what I've been.
Thank y'all for
about.
listening to my soapbox.
But this goes back to talking. This is what I've been talking about though for a long time, and for at least the last couple of years, is that there's always this lack of challengers after a new champion has come along. Like, how is it that, like, let's keep it real, right? If I'm Bryan Danielson, right, I want to work whoever I can work, right, and then I want to put over the next dude. Let's just say the next dude would have been Wardlow. Okay, we have to keep Wardlow hot. Like, we have to keep him because we know he wants to be a heel. Let's keep him as a heel, keep him as a bad guy, right? Keep that pot spinning, and then you need to that play spinning, and then you have to load up the heels that are gonna come face, and maybe some baby faces, right? Nigel, right? We can keep it 100. Bring in Swerve, right? Swerve gets a rematch. Here's on his way back up, but you've got to load up that championship run. It's the same thing that's going on with WWE right now. Like, there's a lack of dudes that are able to face Cody Rhodes. Let's keep it a buck. You literally had to go back to Solo. Why? Because Roman's back. Now you want Roman and Cody to do this tag team thing against Jacob and Solo, right? It's like, why isn't there people lined up to just beat the holy hell out of Cody? Why is it that like it's you run out of things to do? Like, these championship runs should not end with like, oh, he won the title. No, we want to see their defenses, but they got to have some quality guys. We were talking about that with Kofi. Kofi's title run was a clear example of this, right? Randy Orton was like the next person up, right? After Daniel Bryan, it was Randy, and then who? No one. We didn't know until Brock. And then Brock ends that in 7 seconds. There was a lack of quality challengers lined up for him to go. When you looked at why Gunther's run at the Intercontinental title was so good was because there were so many previous Intercontinental champions running in the E still active that were quality guys. Rey Mysterio, The Miz, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, right? Person after person after person you were able to throw at him. When you look at AEW, like, if you're telling me that he's taking the title off of Swerve and that he's defending the title All Out against, to be honest, I forgot already, and then you want Nigel, what? Yeah.
Who the fuck did he face?
In the words of the New Day, who? I don't know.
Really, who the fuck did? No, man, dead ass. Who the fuck did he face?
I'm gonna be real. I'm not even looking. I
don't really honestly don't know.
I'm just saying though, like, then you want to plant these storylines up. It should definitely be, like Nigel, Moxley, MJF, somebody else, Adam Cole, and then like Wardlow. You know what I mean? Like line these heels up so that we get
I don't remember
all these
myself
quality
now.
matches. You know what I mean? I'm throwing names out. Like honestly, like I just don't remember.
Oh,
But that's
I
what I
know who
know.
he faced.
Who?
I just remembered. Wow, that took way too long.
I'm just thinking of,
He
like,
faced Jack Perry.
again, like we should. I mean, but look, we want the quality run. That's what we need. That's what we deserve.
That is true.
That's what every champ. And then on the other side of things, right? If you're the heel and you win, we should be having quality faces coming in.
Yeah.
There should be a new person every time. Like if the number one contender gets beat, whoever that number two person was, hey, yo, that should be the person. And then while that number two person is battling for the championship, the number one contender is battling the third place person or the fourth place, whatever you want to say, to work their way up the title run. Like it just makes sense. Like
Oh right,
why
yeah,
is there always a lack of people?
yeah, I forgot. We sure did.
But that's me on my TED Talk.
Yeah. I wish I cared enough.
You're just so hateful towards AEW.
Nah, I'm like that across all runs.
Yeah, no, it is. It's I'm not sure we heard you, Chaz.
Nope.
Nope,
It'll come in 5 seconds.
100%.
It's a long ass one.
That's
Hey.
I think that's the biggest
God
wrestling
damn!
history.
God damn, that's a long ass delay.
That this because yeah, I mean you're right. No, I mean because you're right. I think that to do is to just put it like boom.
Oh shit!
That really
This
was.
is my favorite part of the show.
He wants to. Hey, so he's.
All right,
calling-
I
he's
guess
calling
we're all right. Well, with that being said, since he's got really bad mic issues, and I guess we're saying goodbye. So fuck off.
Yep, I see the delay.
All right. So anyway, you guys, thank you guys for checking us out on the debate show. This is Guys and Friends. You guys saw, so you guys know what to do. Because like every great part of a wrestling match, we gotta take this home. Because like I said, this is what it is. And then make sure that you're doing all that stuff. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on all of our social media accounts. You know where we are. 3 Count Podcast on everything, unless you're on X, and that's the only one. It's 3count_pod. Follow us, listen to us on Spotify. Check us out on Amazon Music. Even listen to us on that dumb app with the stupid jingle that goes iHeartRadio or whatever it is. Also, go buy all of our merch on ProWrestlingTees.com. Also on ForYourWear.com. Check us out there. And then tell your mom about us, your dad about us, your aunties, your uncles, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, and your best friends, and your enemies, because we love haters too. Do all that stuff, or just wait for this episode to end, wait for the outro, and then choose another episode to listen to. Kawaii.
Hey guys, it's the host of the 3 Count, Chaz Evans here. Make sure to let you know that I don't run shit, I don't do shit, I just talk shit. And make sure you subscribe to our podcast. What else did you do? You should also follow us on all social medias. That's the Facebook at 3 Count Podcast, the Instagram at 3 Count Pod, and the Twitter at 3count_pod. Also, if you like us a lot, you should definitely buy a t-shirt at ProWrestlingTees.com/3countpod, and that's the number 3. Don't be an idiot and type in THREE, because you're not going to find anything. So make sure you follow us at 3 Count Pod or 3count_pod on Twitter and buy a shirt. Be there or be somewhere else.